Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come and visit with all of you and wear my tennis shoes. It's been a busy week, and I'm just so grateful to get the chance to discuss our Homeland Security mission, and thank you for all of your partnerships. You have just been absolutely incredible in working with us to fulfill our mission each and every day. For 22 years, know that this organization and its members have facilitated safety of the American people each and every day, and you bring together experts and industry leaders and innovators to do so. I want to give a special thanks to Megan as well for her leadership as the executive director here at the Homeland Security and Defense Forum. She has been here for 13 years and has led with excellence. I also want to thank our acting deputy commissioner, I don't know if he's still here, John Modlin, who's here with CBP, our El Paso sector interim chief patrol agent, Walter Slozer, who also is speaking with you today, maybe already has, and then David as well, who is a former CBP acting commissioner. So grateful for them and their leadership and sharing their expertise and wisdom with all of you. We know that a secure homeland is important not only because of our duty to protect the American people, but also because it's important to ensure that our country remains prosperous. And that's how industry can thrive. I know what it's like to run a business. I'm a farmer and rancher from South Dakota, which you probably know, but also ran several other businesses, including a restaurant, a hunting lodge, and different entities with my family over the years, had the opportunity to serve in Congress and then as governor before I had this position. But that experience all comes to play when it comes to making decisions not only on safety and security, but also how to do so in a way that's accountable to the American taxpayer. So what does the Trump administration under President Trump's leadership want? What do they want to do as far as building partnerships with all of you? What are our goals? And that is what I'm here to discuss with you today. The president wants a country where our citizens can live in peace, where business is booming and opportunity abounds for all of those who play by the rules and follow the law. Today, I'm happy to tell you that President Trump is indeed making America safe again. And I think all of you know that from what you see out on our streets and in our communities today. And he's setting records and breaking records in the process. When President Trump returned to office, one of our top priorities was getting the Department of Homeland Security back on track. As you know, in many situations, our law enforcement officers weren't allowed to do their jobs. People and departments and components under our umbrella were off mission and were not doing the duty that they needed to protect America. For 4 years, the Biden administration pulled DHS and other vital parts of our national security away from our core missions. There's no clearer example than the disastrous open border policies that we saw perpetuated and the invasion which was facilitated by the administration. They brought crime and violence and unprecedented drugs to our communities. Terrorists flooded our country, and countless citizens of adversarial countries waltzed right over our border. Customs and Border Protection was prevented from doing its job, and worse, they were used many times to funnel aliens in as quick as possible. President Trump has put an end to that, delivering the most secure border in American history. In fact, we've just reached our 7th month of 0 illegal aliens released into our streets. Border crossings are down over 93% year over year. Meanwhile, we're removing illegal aliens who came in under the Biden administration. By the end of this year, 2.5 million illegal aliens will have left our country. That includes over 600,000 that were detained and deported, but 1.9 million virtually have left voluntarily through our communication efforts, through the efforts of facilitating plane tickets, and also $1,000 reimbursements for those who choose to go home voluntarily with the opportunity to come back the right way someday. We have seen an incredible amount of interest in fixing things that have been done wrong in the past. As a result, we have also deterred countless would-be border crossings from entering into our country. DHS, as you know, was founded after 9/11. It was founded to put all of the government agencies and components under one umbrella to fight terrorism and to protect the homeland, and that's exactly what we're doing under President Trump. From January to November of this year, ICE alone arrested and removed over 1,100 known or suspected terrorists that were on our terrorist watch list from January through November. And we're driving that number up every day. That is not counting the individuals that were arrested and encountered by other agencies or departments. President Trump has designated many cartels and gangs, other criminal groups such as foreign terrorist organizations, and designating them under that allows us to go after those killers with more tools than we've ever had before. Through our Homeland Security task forces, which I co-lead alongside our Attorney General Pam Bondi, DHS is working with other departments as well as our international partners and organizations to crack down on cartels and terrorists and other transnational criminal organizations. Since late August, the Homeland Security Task Force has seized more than 461 metric tons of drugs and millions of dollars in assets. Last weekend, CBP under the Homeland Security Task Force stopped nearly 6,000 pounds of meth from coming into the country from San Diego at a port of entry. And that bust would not have happened without the robust security that we have at the border. The bottom line is that we're driving the cartels out of business, and we're ending an industry that profits off of the deaths of millions of Americans. Fentanyl traffic across our border at the southern border is down 56%, and that means that fewer families will have to live with the pain of losing a loved one. We're taking the fight to make America safe again to our enemies, and we're going after them on the high seas as well. We know that our maritime borders need to be defended, and since January, the U.S. Coast Guard has seized enough cocaine to kill 177 million Americans. That's 2/3 of our country's population. By keeping criminals and terrorists and drugs out of our country, we're saving American lives, and we're sparing American families from the pain of illegal alien crime and the heartache of drug addiction and fentanyl poisoning. But we know that our threats are ever evolving, and that's why you're here, and that's why I'm grateful you made it a priority to be here today. We need the improved technology, the intelligence, and the expertise that you bring to the table to stay ahead of our enemies. Thanks to the big, beautiful bill, we have funding that we can make sure that the Department of Homeland Security has what we need to get equipped to prepare for the future. We focus on merit. We're ensuring that we get the best products so that we can keep the American people as safe as possible. And as a result of everything that we've been doing, Americans are getting back to work after years of illegal aliens taking their jobs and flooding our market and using those resources to support other entities besides American families. In the first 8 months of the Biden administration, 88% of new jobs went to foreign-born workers. In the same period under President Trump, 100% of American jobs went to American-born workers. Overall, that's more than 2.5 million Americans that went back into the workforce. Now, as President Trump continues to stand up for our citizens and prosperity on the global stage, he also is working to enforce American tariffs. CBP is responsible for implementing and for enforcing all tariffs, and in January, CBP has collected $1 billion from tariffs, taxes, and fees. And what there actually are and what we are utilizing them for is a negotiating tactic. They serve as a stick, so to be, to bring people to the table. And if a company or a country doesn't like tariffs, a simple solution exists. Invest in America. Meet our demands. Meet our safety protocols. You won't regret it. You won't have any tariffs, and we want to do business with you if we do it the right way. And we will rely on our international relationships and partnerships to keep our country safe. As President Trump's DHS secretary, it's been an absolute honor every single day to get up and to have a purpose of safety and security with the United States and be able to negotiate with our international partners. And since January, we have secured, under the Department of Homeland Security, over 30 international agreements that don't just tighten our security operations, but they also help us with travel, and 17 of those I have personally signed with our international leaders. For example, the biometric data sharing partnership agreements that we've signed with countries in the Western Hemisphere have allowed us to identify threats to the United States and to the region. And these data exchanges have allowed us to better understand the movement of bad actors in the hemisphere and identify them if they come to the United States. Many of you have the technology and the innovation to help us do that even better. And among those that we have identified, we have found nearly 100 known and suspected terrorists just from those agreements that we've signed in the last several months. America is not just a nation that is important, but it also needs to refocus on being the Arctic nation that it is, and we have been since the 1850s. Under President Trump, we're finally acting like it. We need to revamp our shipbuilding industry to revitalize the Coast Guard to help defend it. And last month, I hosted the ministers from Canada and Finland here in DC to continue our icebreaker collaboration effort, our ICE Pact, to strengthen our maritime capabilities, to rebuild America's shipbuilding industry, and to increase our presence in the Arctic region to deter our adversaries. ICE Pact brings together the governments of our countries, our three nations, and it brings private industry in from all three countries. I'm sure you've read and heard about what that really has done to establish the shipping industry here in the United States. For example, the Canadian shipbuilder Davies has pledged over $1 billion to acquire and to modernize the American shipyard assets in Texas for the production of icebreakers right here in the United States. 2 multi-purpose icebreakers are proposed for construction in Finland by the American-owned Bollinger Shipyards and the Canadian-owned company of Seaspan. And working with the Department of Labor, we've deployed millions of dollars in grant programs to create the International Shipbuilding Fellowship, which will fund opportunities for American workers to travel to Finland, to learn from them and their expertise, and to bring that skill set back here at home to deploy. We're doing all of that because the American people deserve the security, they deserve the prosperity, and the future that will come from it. And we need groups like you to make it happen. You are the innovators. You see the challenges that are coming and you help us tackle them with your expertise and your knowledge. You create the solutions that propel us forward, and you don't give up until you do. And that's really what the American spirit is. It's what drives us forward as a nation. We're all doers, and we always have been. As my dad raised us, he told us we don't complain about things, we fix them. And I want to thank you for being here today to help us do exactly that. That's exactly how our ancestors carved 13 colonies out of an unforgiving wilderness. It's how we tamed the Wild West, it's how we founded a nation, and it's how we landed on the moon. That spirit that built America is what made us great, and we need a lot more of it. What do we need from industry? We need your technology. We need your wisdom, your expertise. We need agility. We need you to be quick and fast and deploy. Under the Department of Homeland Security, I have personally reviewed over 9,000 contracts myself to ensure that they're not only the correct contracts we should be signing as far as deploying resources, but to do it quickly and be accountable to taxpayers. Know that when you work with us, that it will meet a need that we have to secure the homeland, but also that it will be something that is appropriate and correct, will be evaluated, and will be deployed at an efficiency to the taxpayer. We have saved over $13 billion at the department just by reviewing and renegotiating contracts, making sure that we're doing the right thing and stretching every single dollar as far as we can to take care of people and to keep them safe. We need your new solutions to meet the threats of tomorrow so that we can build an America where we can protect America and where we can uphold the principles and the law for which it was founded. If you care about all of that, and if you want to be a part of the team and continue to help us, gosh, that would be absolutely fantastic. We need you. We face more threats than we ever have before, not just from enemies that are here within our borders, but from those far beyond. Not just from individuals, but from groups, cartels, terrorists, and even other countries that wish to take America out. Our threats are great, but our people are even greater. And I want to thank you for all that you do to help us to achieve safety, but also hope and happiness here for our families that live here. So I just want to thank you all for being here, for what you do, for loving this country, and may God bless you for partnering with us in new ways each and every day. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for giving me a few minutes to visit with all of you. And with that, I will yield back, but does anybody have any questions? I'll take a couple questions before I leave if you've got some. Yes, ma'am.
Lake Urban, Caroline.
Yep.
We have a contract on your desk right now to review the
We're going to negotiate a contract right here today. I love it.
I want to know what we're going to do to improve and quickly put in place AI-enabled surveillance on our borders to improve the false alarm rate, which is very, very high right now and causing a lot of pain to the folks in the field who need this.
Yeah, as you know, we had a plan under Trump 45 to build the wall, and the wall is not just an infrastructure of a primary wall. There's a secondary wall and the technology and surveillance equipment that actually goes with it as well. And as we do that, and this is the largest project that's ever been undertaken, I believe, in the world, to build an infrastructure project of this magnitude. And having the right technology to tell us when there is a threat at that border is important, but also we need to know when it's not a threat and it's something else. So your contract, I don't know the specific one, but I will go look at it. It's not on my desk yet because I just cleared my desk this afternoon. But I will. But that is one thing that we need, is not just technology, but technology that's reliable, that gives us the correct information we need to keep people safe. So we have already done the many contracts to deploy and building of the border, but we are going to continue to allocate those. I think we have put those out faster from the OB3 funding than ever done before as far as the contracting process has gone, but we'll continue to ensure that those systems get installed and online as soon as possible. What else? She shut it down, didn't she? With the yes, sir. Last one, and then I better let you get back to business.
Ma'am, not a question, but I'm not going to speak for everybody here, but for me, just want to say keep it up.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Well, God bless you. You have a wonderful day. Thank you, everybody.